We definitely have a Rushmore of people we love to interview, and this man is definitely on there.
Our next guest is a comedy veteran. He's been on our screens, stages, and feeds for over 30 years. And he's not stopping there. Tonight, he's going to be on your telly for Thank God You're Here. Please welcome Ross Noble.
Ross, good morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank God you said that we've got a Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. I honestly thought you were going to say we've got a rush on for guests, so let's get him on and get him off as quickly as possible.
No, you're on the Rushmore. You're one of the four faces.
Now, we do really want to talk to you about Thank God You're Here. Just before we do that, though, before you came in, we promised you were going to whistle. Can you whistle?
Yes, I can whistle, but I can't do the one.
Yep.
I can't. I'm very envious of Scotty Cam. You know, when he sticks his fingers in his mouth, he's that like full on, and it's
Tools down.
Tools down, and you go, oh, imagine that. I mean, who would I shout tools down to? You know what I mean? Just like a proper big whistle, but no, I can't do that one.
Yep.
Although I do, even though I can whistle in a regular style, I find people who whistle a happy tune should be put to death. I have no time for it.
When they're walking down the street.
People whistling and you think, do you think that's entertaining anyway? The whistle, unless you're if you're a shepherd, right, and you are corralling your flock, perfectly acceptable. But you don't do that doing the hits of Rihanna, do you? You know what I'm saying? Unless the sheep particularly like her musical stylings. But I just think, if you're whistling, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it to yourself to put yourself in a happy mood. Well, there's lots of things I like to do to put me in a happy mood, but if I did them in the street, other people wouldn't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Now, thank God you're here.
Yes.
You're going to be on tonight.
I had a flashback there. Thank God you're here. I went, all right,
I'm back.
We're in the radio station. I've just gone through the door.
It does actually feel like this show was made for you. Like this is, I mean, a lot of people, you know, it's obviously a scary thought, but you know, this is what you do for a living. You get out on stages and you just make it up on the spot.
I love it.
That is what you do.
And I've said that, and I'm not just saying it because I've done it tonight on Channel 10. It's the greatest format for a TV show ever.
It is.
It's so simple, but I mean, obviously, it's incredibly complicated because obviously the cast who are there, who are in the scenario, who know what's happening. There's a lot going on with them. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's so simple. You just literally walk through a door and then you just have to bullshit your way through.
I love watching your episode because obviously you've got the professional improvers, and you know, when sometimes you get people on the show and you can tell they're trying to corral them a little bit in a certain direction. Whereas with Ross, I feel like they just go, shit, it's Ross. Like, where is he going to go?
So we're actually good friends with someone who is one of the people on the show.
Oh,
and he was
right.
telling us that they do like dry runs. So before you come through and do the real thing on the night, they put each other through their paces and just do crazy things that would never happen. Like they run off stage and run around there just so they're sort of ready for anything. But I feel like you would be the closest to that. I actually remember watching your episode like 15 years ago when it was like there was like a Hobbit thing and you had the staff from Bunnings and there's like smoke machine.
Yes.
And then you started like putting the fire out and saying that they were playing with matches. Like that still lives rent free in my head. I think that was in like 2008 or something.
Yeah, well it's funny with that one because I didn't realise at the time so that I had this big staff thing and I was just swinging it around and I was kind of there was a like a hollowed out tree and I was sort of I kept banging the tree and I was gesticulating. I was like, and the thing is, and I didn't realise there was an actor inside that tree. And for about 5 minutes, he just literally was just getting smashed around the head, and they couldn't break from the scene. And so that was a bit. But yeah, I think they were. You'll see tonight. They I can't give anything away, but I think tonight and I found out afterwards that they deliberately. What happens tonight, basically, they were aware of the fact that they had to try and keep me, they had to sort of restrain me, basically.
Okay.
So it's worth it, because I literally, you might see it in my face about like 20 seconds in, it's like, oh, I see what you've done, and then afterwards they were going, but my whole thing, you'll see, you'll just sort of, there's a little thing where I go, oh, right, they've done this on purpose. And I'm thinking, very good. Touche.
That's fab. Well,
Honestly,
7:30.
Yeah, it's must-watch TV.
7:30 tonight, Channel 10. I mean, if that doesn't want to make you watch it.
Well, and also, Hamish is on tonight. The absolute king of the Hamish Blake is on as well.
Does he pace backstage? Does he seem worried? Is he cool as a cucumber?
Well, you know what? It's funny actually because like with him, because he was like he did the show. I only did it once back in the day, but he did it so many times that it's one of those things where everyone's like, oh, Hamish is back. He's the king of it. He's the king. And it's that thing of like, it's a long time ago.
Literally.
But no, he's great. And then there's some newcomers as well. Emma Holland's on there.
You're like the dads of Thank God You're Here. Then you were just helping them through and just going, this is how you do it.
It's really odd for me and for Hamish to go, oh, we're like the old guys. Oh, we're the old. You know, you'll actually say at one point, I made a joke where I said, look at us desperately clinging on to relevance. And I do my fingers like this, and I don't know if it'll make it in the final show, but at the end, when they say goodbye, everyone, everyone's waving, Hamish and I both just make
have the clinging hands on. Like the cat, hang in there, guys, hang in there.
I mean, it was funny because Hamish actually said, which is true, basically, if you were to spend like money on something insane, if you were to just throw a load of money at something, the thing that you'd probably do is pay a load of actors to set up a scenario, buy yourself a costume, and say, right, you have to have to indulge me in this ridiculous.
I'm a wizard now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you would do. So the fact that there's an actual show and you go, oh, this is a thing. Yeah. It's perfect.
Make sure you watch it 7:30 tonight on 10. As always, Ross Noble, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.